a farmer running his tractor, a business delivering its products, a family heating their home. They all require energy. They all depend on CHS.
CHS has 2 refineries, one in Laurel, Montana, the other in McPherson, Kansas.
The combined processing capacity of the 2 CHS refineries is about 160,000 barrels per day of crude.
It is vital for our operation to run 24/7, 365 days a year.
It's something that's there for the consumer that they have no concept of how amazing the process is and how critical it is.
From crude oil acquisition through distillation and processing and distribution, the CHS Energy Network provides a reliable source of high-quality energy products for both retail customers and our farmer owners.
Since we are farmer-owned, we do all we can to buy the crude oils that will provide the most diesel for our member owners. 50,000 barrels a day of the 100,000 that's run at McPherson is bought locally in Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado, and Oklahoma. And we also buy about 2,500 barrels a day of locally produced crude oil in Montana. Refining capacity in both states far exceeds what's produced locally. So we do consume crude oil produced from Canada.
The pipelines are the arteries that supply all of the crude oil into the refinery and move all of the refined fuel away from the refinery. CHS owns and operates 5 pipelines, 3 crude oil pipelines, 2 in Kansas, 1 in Montana, and 2 refined fuels pipelines, 1 serving the Laurel refinery and 1 serving the McPherson refinery. We use pipelines for a couple of reasons. Number 1, it's the safest means of moving crude oil into the refinery. The second reason is it's also the most cost-effective method to bring crude oil into the refinery.
Once the crude oil arrives at the refinery, it is separated into distinct parts, or fractions, in a process called fractional distillation. This process is defined by the crude oil's boiling points.
It is fairly common to see temperatures in the refinery between 500 and 900 degrees coming off the heaters going to the fractionation columns. And the heat is what boils the oil to separate it.
There are over 60 distillation towers at the 2 CHS refineries. The fractions at the top of each tower, such as propane and gasoline, have lower boiling points. Diesel, a heavier fraction, is distilled at a higher temperature. The heaviest fractions of the crude oil are eventually used for the production of asphalt or coker feed. The coker produces additional gasoline, diesel, and petroleum coke from every barrel of crude oil. Acting as the nerve center of the refineries, the control rooms monitor every aspect of the refining process to ensure safety and efficiency. Each control room is staffed 24 hours a day with teams of trained professionals.
Our crude oil that comes in the refinery will produce 50% gasoline, 49% diesel, 1% propane. There's no waste.
Our efficiency results in the production of approximately 2.5 billion gallons of refined fuel each year. This process also results in several byproducts, such as butane, which is used for lighter fluid, petroleum coke, used for industrial heating, aluminum manufacturing, and cement kilns, asphalt, a key component in road construction, and sulfur, used to manufacture the wet and dry fertilizers that our farmer owners rely upon.
The lab has a role in all points within the refinery. We take all of incoming crude and we make sure that the quality is acceptable coming in. We process all the samples throughout production to make sure that they are on spec as to where they're supposed to be coming out of each individual unit. And all final release product, both gasoline and diesel as well as byproducts, are certified by the lab before release.
Some of the testing we do is for safety reasons. We also test for EPA regulations. The big thing is for a quality reason, because we want our farmer owners, every time they get in their tractors or vehicles, to be able to start up and plow and harvest and do it timely and safely.
Storage tanks are one of the most prominent features at the 2 CHS refineries. The total amount of storage available, almost 400 million gallons.
We have tanks that we use to store crude oil when it's delivered to the refinery for processing. We also have tanks that we use to store intermediate products. And then we also have tanks that the final products are put in for blending and then shipped down the pipeline to our customers.
The products that we move include regular and premium gasoline, as well as number 1 and number 2 diesel.
Our Minot terminal here is one of 12 terminals that CHS owns and operates, but CHS has access to over 250 terminals. On an average day for us, we probably see 80 to 100 trucks and 800 to 900,000 gallons out of here.
Another role that the terminals have is that we use that opportunity to blend in various additives to create our highly valuable Cenex products.
This terminal is the link between getting a product to Minot and getting it into the customer's tanks.
We have one of the largest fleets in the United States. I deliver gas and diesel to farmers, to bulk plants, to gas stations.
Through more than 1,500 Cenex branded locations and partnerships with nearly 700 member-owned cooperatives and distributors, CHS provides Cenex premium diesel fuel and top-tier gasoline to our farmer owners in their communities across the country. Throughout the entire refining and distribution process, CHS stays focused on the safety of our employees and our communities while minimizing our impact on the environment.
The 3 priorities that we have here at the refinery are safety is number 1, number 2 is environmental, and then number 3 is operations. If we have to curb operations to ensure that number 1 and number 2 priorities are still in order, we will do so.
You know, if you have a great safety culture and people believe that you are being safe and operating safe, that perception goes out into the community.
We want to make sure that we're helping our farmer owners grow, but really what makes me proud is that we're doing it while being sustainable and being a good steward here.
We are a reliable supplier of quality products, and that's truly the value that we bring to our farmer owners.
The fuel we store and the fuel that we send down to the truck rack is such an important part of a farmer's success.
Without energy, nothing happens, right? So we're able to keep our farmers farming, which feeds us, feeds our family, and also helps feed the world.
The fuel that we use, that we burn in the cars, the propane to heat the homes, the fertilizers to help the crops grow, it's absolutely necessary for our society to thrive.